Welcome back to the Mouse Gun Guy channel. Have a very cool and interesting gun to show you today. This is a Heckler Koch HK4, of course made in Germany. Why do I call it 4 guns in one? Well, because it can be configured in 4 different calibers. This isn't a mouse gun I look at as because of size. It's bigger than most of the mouse guns I've talked about here. And I don't have large hands, so it looks bigger probably than it really is. But it embraces all of the 4 main mouse gun calibers that I consider mouse gun calibers: 22, 25, 32, and 380. This one is in 32, but you can get a barrel and spring kit and magazine where you can change it out to make it a 25 ACP or 6.35 millimeter, or a 380 ACP, or even a 22. But the 22, you have to do some work there with the firing pin to reposition it for rimfire. So this gun was released in 1968. Heckler & Koch had been Mauser engineers before World War II. And after the war, they started their own company. And at first, they were not making guns. They were making parts for other machinery. But then they submitted a design for a rifle to the government. They won a contract, so they began making guns. And this one was designed in the 60s. In 1968, it was released, and it immediately became very popular. Price-wise, it undersold the Walther PPK and even the Mauser HSC, which it has some things in common with. It has an aluminum frame. It's very light and a heavy slide because it's straight blowback. So here on the side, Heckler & Koch, GmbH, Oberndorf, made in Germany. And here's your H&K logo back here, 4, model HK4. And HK down here on the grip. You have a little thumb position there on the grip. You've got the lip on the grip for your finger. And the earlier models did not have this. This is considered to be a second variant. And the earlier ones had the reposition, the safety, the serrations were back here above the grip, so forth. And these were imported to the States by a couple of different companies at different times. Harrington and Richardson imported these. And in 1974, they had one that had a gold plate here that said Harrington and Richardson. It was a commemorative type gun, and it had a gold trigger, very attractive. But this one is over here. It has H&K Inc., Arlington, Virginia. This security arms company are called SACO, S-A-C-O is the abbreviation for their company. Sometimes you'll see some of these with SACO, Arlington, Virginia, but this is just H&K, and the zip code there. The Bund here, B-U-N-D, indicates this was made for the German government. They did have a police contract, although it wasn't a really successful thing for the company to sell to the government. But some of these got exported, and apparently this is one. And here's the serial number here, 1071. That's got your date right there. So it was introduced in 68 and 71. This is a second variant. And it was made until 1984. And during that time, it's estimated just over 38,000 of these were made. It has a wraparound grip like the Mauser, a single screw in the rear. It's very sleek looking. You can see it has a hammer here, and it's a double single. The double action is really heavy. Not a good trigger for your double action, but the single action is fine. Has pretty small sights, but they're nothing to get caught on your clothing unless it would be this lip on the magazine. And the 32 has an 8-round magazine. And even the magazine has the caliber on it, so you don't get it mixed up with one of the others. H&K, and this is 571. So the magazine's made in May of 71, and the gun, the frame at least, in October 71. Let's see, I was in college then. Oh boy. a long time ago. You got your 7.65 here, H&K. So I think it's a very handsome gun. And the previous owner apparently has painted a little bit of green dot there on this blade sight in the front. Sights are pretty small, and I think this would be a really fun gun to take to the range. So to disassemble, this is one of the easier ones most of the time. I can have trouble with one that's always easy. And so we just pop out the magazine here. Safety has to be on. If you lock the slide back, and to release it, you have to put the magazine in. Then there's a button here. It's hard to see. I'll show it to you when I get the slide off. The slide comes forward just a little bit, and if you remove the magazine again, now it'll come off. All right. Lifts off very easily. And here's the barrel and recoil spring. And it's a little bit difficult to get out of there. To push it in, take the tension off and lift it out. And you can see the spring is attached to the barrel, so you can't get the springs mixed up. You know, every caliber would have a different strength of recoil spring. And so that's why you don't get them mixed up. It's very easy to drop it in there. And I'm not sure you can see this down in there. The light right. There's two holes there. It's the center fire and the rim fire firing pins. And there's a screw in the front of that block. It's hard to see. Everything's black in there. If you remove the screw and take the block out, you can reposition that firing pin. So to reassemble, let me just show you this too. Here is the release button. Now that's really easy. This thing right here is called a buffer. And I first saw this, I thought there was some buildup of gunk in here, but it looks like a plastic that's just been crumbling. And I find pieces of that, little pieces of it. You can see it there in the slide. So I went online and found on Numrich they had buffers, so I ordered a couple. So when that comes in, I'll replace this buffer here. You can see how this releases. And let's see how easy it'll go back together. Oh yeah, the struggle is real. I had practice a little bit here. There, snap right in. Okay, now if this will just go on. Oh, look at that. How sweet. All back together. This gun proved really popular in Europe with the 4 different possible chamberings. And reason why is gun ownership's limited. And I was corresponding with a German man at an auction in Germany, and I asked him why so many mouse guns. It's just amazing. The guns I see on their auctions, I've never even seen or heard of. And I'm always stealing pictures of them and trying to do some research. And they always sell cheap. And so he responded to my question about why they're so cheap. He said, pocket pistols over here usually sell at very low prices. Nobody wants them. If you have a gun license that permits you to own 2 guns, standard in Austria, 10 guns, standard in Germany, or similar, then you will not waste a valuable place on that license with a 6.35 Browning. So, what made this gun popular is even though you could put 4 different calibers in it, it only counted as 1 gun. So if you can only own 2 guns, you're not going to waste one of them on a 25 caliber or maybe even a 22. But this one, you could have a 22, a 25, a 32, and a 380, and it only counted as 1 gun. So that's the Heckler Koch HK4. This one is in 6.35 millimeter, which is our 32 ACP.